Are you wanting to scale your business with digital products? I'm Becky Beach, and I've grown $1 million digital product empire that earns me passive income while I sleep, eat, and play. Join me each week as we grow our digital product businesses together. This is the Becky Beach Show. Hey, welcome to the Becky Beach. I'm Becky Beach, and today's guest is Krista Tressa of CaringMessenger.com. Welcome, Krista.
Hi, Becky. Thanks for having me. Wow, you just have all this excitement and energy in your voice. I just love it.
Oh, me too. Yeah, Krista is a professional copywriter, and her website's CaringMessenger.com. And if you go there, she has a freebie prepared. So go ahead and tell me about copywriting and how it could be used to sell more digital products.
Sure, Becky. Copywriting, wow. It is the emotional triggering words, or if you want to call that copy, right? That's really going to sell either your product or your service. So this is, I think, the best way to really market your goods that you have to share with the world. And it comes down to the words that you choose, right? Your branding, your use of emotional intelligence, the psychology behind what really drives a human, another human being to be able to take that action, that next step down that customer journey. So it's super exciting stuff. Yeah, I like to call myself, kind of like the whatever wordsmith, if you will, or I just love to play on words and see what, when you add a word, when you omit a word, if you as you yourself know, right, as a graphic design specialist yourself, Becky, just even how you portray that word, right, and just the different fonts and the colors and all that good stuff, how that really can bring your words, your verbiage that you're using for your marketing to life.
Yeah, I so agree. Like, what people are maybe wondering, like, what would set advanced copywriting apart from basic copywriting when it comes to getting more sales? Is there some like psychology behind it to have some more advanced techniques?
I would say, I mean, there's copywriters, right? Dime a dozen kind of thing like that. You can pretty much, go on the web and Google, copywriter, whatever, and find options, right? However, I feel like the emotional intelligence that a copywriter has, that's really what's going to differentiate you between being, an expert, in my opinion, versus, just a novice and that type of thing. But yeah, like my name of my business, Caring Messenger, it really honestly comes from the heart. I feel led and called to do this during this season of my life. I do, in addition, I have many, just like you do, right? Our backgrounds and our past experiences are so vast, and the beauty of that is it really just adds layers upon layers of just texture and experience, and like working with all sorts of different people, and whether it's another entrepreneur or just a consumer, really, at the end of the day, just being able to emotionally connect with them. I believe that that's key, and that's kind of what differentiates myself of Caring Messenger copywriting. Just having that, I don't know what you want to call it, an edge, I guess, if you will.
Yes, yeah, I do feel it because I actually met Krista. Like, she scheduled a one-on-one call with me, and I just felt her energy because I'm an empath, and I just felt her energy. I know we're on the computer, but there's just something about her energy that I'm really drawn to it, like kind of like a moth to a flame. So I said, I got to have her on my podcast. I mean, she's so impressive, and she's like such a good copywriter. You should go to her website. The copy is amazing, and sign up to her freebie and everything. So tell me, how'd you get started doing this?
Yeah, well, guess what? It was another ad on social media that actually caught my attention. So this group that I belong to is called the Filthy Rich Writer Copywriting and Comprehensive Academy.
Oh, it's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful, yeah. Um, their ad just kind of, it did what it was supposed to do, right? It triggered an emotional response, and I'd been kind of like kind of searching, seeking, like, I'm a pharmacist by trade. I'm also a career and tech ed teacher. I've always loved writing, and kind of it hit all those trigger buttons, I guess, if you will. And I, even on my website, I do a review for them, because I, am an affiliate with them as well. And I was just like, wow, y'all did the right thing, right? It hooked me, right? Copywriting, right? We're looking at, the hooks, like what are the, headlines, what are the subheadings, what is the body copy, what is the call to action, that's called the CTA. Well, what's the descriptions, that, if you're selling a product, all that kind of stuff. But all that, like, packaged together, right, is what really, I think, is that, thing that's going to really elevate and move your product or your service or whatever you're trying to offer to the world, out the door, right, and off your shelves and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's kind of like, it was just really it was just a season of my life. I was looking for something else to do with all my talents and skills and experiences. I was looking for a little bit more flexibility. I'm a mom, and, it kind of fell into place, really. And then I just started, like, learning all about it and just diving deep and going, below the surface. And then just really found, like, wow, I'm good at it. I'm passionate about it. And,
Mhm.
like, people, like you said, right? Like, I'm I'm an extrovert. I like to call myself inspirational extrovert, but yeah, I think people, they can feel my heart, which, like, even my logo, like, kind of depicts that. It's like that transformation, you know what I mean? Like, just being, I don't know, changed in for good, I guess, is what I'd like to say. But
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
do see the beautiful butterfly on your logo. My business, mombeach.com, also has a butterfly, and I think of it as like a transformation too,
yeah.
because when you become a mother, you just transform. Like I transformed so much when I became a mother. Like before, I didn't care that I was working 9 to 5 or 60 hours a week. But then after I had my son, I said, I got to do something different. I can't keep working like this for these corporate jobs. They're treating me like garbage. There's
Mm,
more to life than this. And I didn't even get to spend much time with my son, probably like 30 minutes to an hour each night. Oh, I'm starting to get emotional about that. But yeah, so like, it's great that you found your calling in copywriting, and then now you're able to transform other people's brands, voice with heartfelt messaging that resonates with the target audience. I'm just looking at your website, and I like how you say change is inevitable.
yeah, yeah. It's
It's
like
like
we can
so
kick
good.
and scream, right? Or we can go, right? Like, and I don't know, like, follow the cheese. Like, where's, you know what I mean? Like, marketing, it's always changing, and it's like you really have to be able to be adaptive, and to really not have your pride so, you know, high that you're just like, I don't, I'm resisting change. I can't do. And it's like, if
Mhm.
we embrace it, and we, and sure, some people, right? That's what I'm here for. Like, we need help with, the words, like, how do I express, right, what I'm trying to sell, or what, my product is or does, or, what my service, is or does.
Mhm.
So, and it's okay to need, someone else's expertise to help you along your, journey to success, whatever that looks like for you. And that's the beauty of, you know, just being able to help people with my carrying messenger copywriting, because it's like, that's my passion. Like, and if I can help you win, then that's a win for for me. You know what I mean? Without
Yeah,
even
there's just so many entrepreneurs that try to do their own copywriting, but a lot of them fail miserably because they don't understand how to do it. Like they can't really get into the psychology and mindset of how you can actually sell a product to somebody, because you got to sell on emotion. And also I like to do like storytelling. So what would you say, like some advanced storytelling techniques that can be used to create like a deeper connection with the audience?
really, honestly, it comes down to researching, like, who you're trying, like, who's your ideal, customer or audience that you're trying to reach. Really researching, like, all aspects, like, from what their feedback that they're giving you, like, so whether, you go and, whoever's DMing you back or whatever, right? And really take a look at that, and, like, take that apart. So copywriting, it's not just the act of writing, right? There's a lot more to it than that, right? It's researching and like finding out, okay, well, who is the audience? What is, what is the brand? What are their pain points? All that kind of stuff. Where are they in the customer journey? And then looking, how can we tap into that emotionally, right? Using our emotional intelligence. And then how can we also like, make sure it's a win-win for you know what I mean? So that we're not selling a false, I don't work for clients that sell false, you know what I mean? Like whatever
I
I
mean,
look for,
false promises and stuff like that.
yes. I vet my clients too. And I want to make sure that we're making, the world a better place because we are here. And so I look also to work with clients that have that same, passion and I guess perspective on life. I guess it's more of an eternal perspective and lens for me. And so I do, you have to do your research. You have to see like, okay, like what are our customers like, who do we want to sell for, right? Like maybe you don't want to necessarily sell to everyone or, for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to pinpoint your niche.
Yep.
It's even better to do it even sub niches. They say the riches are in the niches. Like that's like kind of a cliche phrase.
That's all good. That's all good.
So what do you think some advanced strategies for using emotional triggers in copywriting without coming across as manipulative? 'Cause I see a lot of really manipulative clickbaity copy out there. And how can you kind of get the same response but not come across as like a cheesy salesperson or a cheesy car salesman?
Oh, exactly. No, I don't like the cheese, the cheesy stuff and
Yeah.
where you're just like, oh, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? It's like it has to be kind of, I think, a relationship, that's like more two-way in a, you know what I mean? Yes, we're trying to sell, but it's I think that it's more than, I always say relationship over transaction, first of all. Okay. So
Yes.
yeah, I see too much like it's all about the money, all about the transaction, when it's like, yes, we want to sell whatever it is that we're selling, products or services, but these are humans, right? These are fellow humans, just like you and me
Mhm.
on the other side of that. So, I mean, you have to like ethically look at it, but like, okay, like if I were them, if I were, put yourself in their shoes, I think is key too. It's like, what how would I feel if someone was, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
trying to use these, you know, not so nice, or you know what I mean, like these, lack of better term, these lies, right? To sell me. I mean, I don't think anybody
Yeah.
would feel good about that, right? So
No.
I feel like you really have to do, and I always say this too, like you really got to take a heart pause or do a heart check and like, what are your motives? You know what I mean? And for a lot of my clients, a lot of our, it's not just about the ready, like I said, it's about even just pulling like questions and information out of them that they really probably never even thought of themselves. So
Mhm.
I'm gifted in that aspect too. Like just like you said, I'm just, being a communicator. Like I like to go below the surface. I'm not superficial by any means. Like I like to go deeper and like, okay, tell me, why are you having these so-called problems, right? Maybe it's a perspective thing.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just you're not choosing the right words or the verbiage to say what your heart, you know what I'm saying? Like what your
Yeah.
heart is saying. And so sometimes it's just that. And then, if I can help them with an aha moment and say, hey, I want you to like, if you don't need to hire me anymore because I've taught you like, okay, look for this or do this, then that's great. Like then they're off kind of like on that butterfly, flying off on their own, and then they can go share and spread and pay that forward, whatever that looks like to them and their audience. And so it's really kind of that ripple effect, where you keep spreading good and hope, and you know what I mean? And whatever success looks like for them, right? It's not necessarily what success looks like for me, right? Everybody's different and we all come from different, walks of life, and we have different goals and dreams, and that's awesome because that's just variety, right? That's just life. Um, but yeah, so sometimes it's that just like pulling out and extracting, you know, things that, my client or whoever had never even thought of. And they're like, oh, I never thought about that. Interesting perspective. I'm going to chew on that a little bit more.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just doing really authentic copywriting. You're not trying to like sell the person, as they aren't. You're just trying to sell them in as like a transparent, authentic way. And I really like that because that a lot of copywriters don't do that, where they just upsell something, make it sound like the greatest thing since sliced bread. When it's not nothing near that, and then when you get the product, you're like, oh, I want like a refund, or I want to file a PayPal dispute or a chargeback, because they end up not getting what they thought, because it's just the copy is just selling them on some dream, that's not going to happen. So you gotta be authentic when you're selling.
Yep, exactly. And I think that's just like what people in the world, they want that. I mean, I think they're just crying out for authenticity and just like be real with and that's like I'm like I am who I am. Like you know what I mean? You can read my like wherever I'm posting, LinkedIn or wherever on my website, like you can have a free discovery call with me. You can get to like, I'm not hiding anything. This is like who I am. And if it fits and we vibe, then awesome, and if not, that's totally okay too. Like I don't take it personally because everybody's got their different, whatever that they're, so it's, it's a very, I'll say humbling like experience, but I think humility, right? It's a good thing because it makes us like makes me stronger, makes me, continue to grow and to be a better version of myself. And I think that's probably what every one of us, whether we realize it or not, right, are really striving for. We want to, show our kids like, integrity and, all these employability soft skills that they don't always necessarily teach, in schools these days. So it's like if we can, as business, in the marketplace and stuff like that, and leaders, right? If we can showcase that, to our kids and to, our friends and our family and our coworkers and the world. And I think that's what's gonna, bring the greatest impact. And I'm all about like impact and the positive impact that we can make, in the marketplace for sure. So
Yeah, so I totally agree. Like I noticed there's a lot of copywriters, they'll try to enhance scarcity and also like social proof and stuff like that, social proof, or to get people to buy. But they'll do like that, the timers, like the timers that will end up clocking down, and then the screen like refreshes to another page. What do you think of all that? What do you think of all that? Do you think that's kind of a cheesy way to do things? Like what do you usually do?
I mean, to each their own. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a taught marketing method for sure to have that, the urgency, like, okay, if I don't do it now, then, it's gonna never be available again, which, we know that's not the truth, right? We wouldn't be in business if we said that. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't use it, but I'm not to say that it's not effective because some people like if they're really like they're coming to you because they want, XYZ and they're picking between maybe, you and like one other. Sometimes okay, that might for them, right, work. But like I said, you kind of have to know your audience, you know what I mean? Like, and if it's for me, I'd rather have repeat clients that come back versus always like, you know what I mean? Like you're like you said, you're trying to like, well, you got to buy it today because I'll never be, I'll never have this whatever again. And it's like, I want them to know like, hey, I'm here. You need help with, whatever you want to buy one of my, I do a lot of like DIY, like stuff for copyright and stuff like that, just to help because I'm a teacher too. So it's like, I like to
Yes.
them like how to do. And then of course, if you need help, then, then come to me too. Or if you don't want to do the DIY, but you like to know how to do it so that you can see if other people are actually doing right what you're hiring them to do, that's fine too. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
it can be really difficult to prove scarcity for a digital product because you can sell an infinite amount, man. There's no scarcity to it. Well, it's not like a physical product where only a few were made, or their set number is made, and then then it's totally gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can't get any more unless you go to the factory and like try to get more that way, or make more yourself. But a digital product can be sold infinitely. So Like, I'm trying like some ways that I think to make digital products scarce is maybe just do limited license or have it set and like have it open a few times a year. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
still, I like I always see like a back door, like after it's totally gone. If you like you email the host or if you email the creator, a lot of times they'll just give you the sale. Like I've done that myself before. Like if someone missed the sale for like maybe like a couple hours past the sale, just oh the coupon expired. A lot of times I'll give them the coupon. I'll give them like another coupon. I call it the backdoor coupon.
Right, right. And I think that's like, but they're gonna return to you most likely because you did a kind thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what you're talking about too, because I'll try. Like, I think when you're in business and you've done marketing stuff, like you kind of know the back door. So it's like I always appreciate like if I took that effort to like, hey, I know I missed it. I meant to like buy it by this date. Is there any way, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with having that one-on-one human the human like whatever. I don't know what happened in their life. Like maybe they honestly were going to try to like, jump in on that bundle or, or whatever. And they, something happened, like their grandma dog died. I don't know. And like, so I always like, even with my students, like I always like gave them the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, now you could be totally lying to me, but I'm going to assume that you're honest and you're whatever. So I always appreciate when someone would be like, okay, I understand, like, but here's the back door. Like I'm still gonna, you know what I mean? Because I still want you to have that value of whatever the service or the product that I right created or was offering. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
I-
that makes sense. Like sometimes I'll try to email them. Like if I missed out on a sale, like maybe I had something happen in my life, and I've had people deny me, like, oh, you can't get it. You gotta wait until like so and so, or you gotta wait till like such and such time in the future, or when it only opens a few times a year. Yeah, so I've actually had them deny me too, but like it's kind of hard to do scarcity with digital products, and like if you do an evergreen digital product, I mean, it's hard to do scarcity with that.
Mhm, mhm.
Because a lot of my products are just evergreen, like they're available anytime. You can always sign, like I have an evergreen membership and courses. Sometimes I will put the courses on sale where you can get it at this price for a certain amount of time.
I think that another great idea, at least what I'm finding, is just like collaborating and going in with other people, or, other entrepreneurs that have a connection with, or you know what I mean? You understand that their mission and then they like your mission. And so right, it's for the good. Like you come together. I think that's a great way, like the bundles, right? That you've had, I think, but or you're going to have or something like that. The summits, all those kind of things where you're bringing a lot of amazing talent and resources and you're bringing it together. Like that's like I don't know, I think that's like the sweet spot, like the gold. I appreciate when people see the value in what I have to offer, and obviously when I see value that other people are offering, I reach out to them, and it might just be like, hey, I really like what you're, this is like for you, like, right. What attracted me to Becky Beach, right, was just like the positivity and that
Mhm.
you're a mom too, and then you're, kind of the self-made, entrepreneur, did all the things, learned on your own, that's, have that grit and that resiliency. I think those are just like beautiful like characteristics, and I think that is so unfortunately not seen as much right now, in my opinion. And so when I see stuff like that, I just want to celebrate that, and I just want to like encourage that, because that's how also will change how the marketplace is too, is by being that change, like being what we want to see, right? Like I want my kids to have, you know a better, even better life experiences, than I've had. And so if I'm not willing to, you know, walk the walk that I'm saying that I want to see, or, what's that one, the saying, like talk the talk, walk the walk, whatever that is.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
But then I'm being hypocritical, and then my kids are gonna be like, well, what the heck was mom talking about? You know what I mean? So it's like I really want to lead by example, and I always say I lead upside down, because I, I don't I'm just being the change that I want to see in the world right now. And
Oh, I
so
just love that mindset.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot about mindset and perspective and gratitude because, I view myself as very, very blessed and very, and I don't deserve it any more than anybody, you know what I mean? But I'm grateful. And like, if I can help someone else with whatever, it is that they're, you know, looking for or need. And if I can fill that need, then great, or maybe I know someone that can help them better than what I can, then that's where referrals come in, handy. And that's, that's the whole beauty of just networking and just having these. I love podcasts, right? Because it's such a great resource. You can pop them in your earbuds and, off you go.
Oh,
And,
me too. It's fun. Like I like listen to in my car. Yeah, I noticed there's like a trend with copywriting where it's more humanistic and authentic because like AI has really taken a big effect. A lot of people are using AI to write their copy, but that just takes away the human element from it. It's like what do you have to say about that?
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there's, I think, a certain lane that I guess AI can have, depending on what you're doing. However, like you said, it's like in pharmacy. Like when I was practicing as a pharmacist in the hospital, it's like, sure, I would have my, applications or, on my computer or my phone, that I could quickly look up, a medication or, the dosage or something like that. But I didn't use that to replace my own like human brain and like wisdom that do you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
has its place, just like AI. It's like, okay, sure, if you want to like get a couple ideas, just start your brainstorming. Okay, if you want to put in a couple prompts, but you don't, in my opinion, I was like, it doesn't write good copy in general because it doesn't understand like exactly it's only good as I guess, the prompts or whatever that someone's, trying
Yeah,
to
it's so
put in,
true.
but it doesn't do all that, like you said, the human emotional intelligence kind of thing. I don't think it'll ever be able to replace, obviously, the human brain and stuff like that, and the heart, the human heart and emotions that we have. So, but yeah, I mean, can you use it as a tool? Sure. I just wouldn't use it as your only marketing because I think you will not be happy, and I don't think you're going to get the attract the audience, I guess, and the customers that you really want, without having that authentic human relationship and
Yeah,
the
what if one day you try to use like ChatGPT wherever you're using and it's down, like you need to write this copy or you need to do something with it, or write your blog post. Like, how are you going to do it? You got to rely on your own skills. You can't just keep relying on AI. And like you said, there's no like human element to it. It can mimic.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
somewhat, but reading it just doesn't sound as authentic. It actually does sound like a robot wrote it. There's no
Exactly.
emotion or anything in the words.
Yeah. Because I mean, humans, right? We talk like this. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you tell the robot, like, oh, well, just here, use a little slang here, use a little of your wherever, part of the country you're, the little twang or whatever that's going on. It's,
Right, yeah.
it can't pick up that. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Oh,
understand the joy. Like you can't make someone
yeah.
without the human voice to like, with our inflection, our tone, like it can't it just can't do the
Oh,
exact
yeah,
same
could you
thing
kind
that
of
saying.
sound more Texan ChatGPT? You don't sound Texan enough.
We need
Or
some more
Southern
twang. We
enough,
should see if that would work. Can we put in a they probably have it. I don't know.
You're just not sounding Texan enough. It's just so funny.
Or like certain jokes that only like certain parts of the country would get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
So what would you say some common mistakes that even advanced copywriters make, and how can they be avoided?
Mistakes. Oh, well, I always recommend that you read out loud whatever copy you're doing. And I always tell my kids too, like when they're writing their like essays and stuff like that, I was like, y'all need to read it out loud
Oh,
because
good tip.
you can't like sure you can be typing away on the paper and stuff like that, but if you don't actually take the time to like read it out loud and actually like listen to what it sounds like, you totally miss out on, I think, a lot of that emotional connection that you could have with your audience. So I
Mhm.
always recommend read all your copy out loud. And then also don't, I mean, be okay with brainstorming, like be okay with, writing, I don't know, like if 20, headlines come to, mind, and then, 20 subheadings or whatever come to mind, like usually maybe you're going to pick, I don't know, 3 out of that 20 and then test them. Like you can do A/B testing. Like you can just be like, okay, well, I'm going to send this segment of my email this particular headline, and then I'm going to send this, segment of my email this headline, and just see, what gets the most kind of like response, and then go ahead and then use that. Um,
Yeah, I so agree. Like it's always
people,
important to use A/B testing. Yeah.
yeah, they get nervous and think that, "Oh my goodness, I have to get this right though, I've only got one shot." And it's like, "Well, you can test, like, come up with a couple and then just see what your audience responds to better." And then you can do the same thing with, subheadings. You could, you know, do that with description, portions of the product, that kind of thing. And just see, you could do that with images, like you could just see, okay, does the audience with this particular hook respond better to this, with this hook and this graphic, or, does it even need a graphic? Does it not? Would a video, maybe work better, a video script of something
Oh,
like
do
that?
you write Facebook ads too?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, any copy, really. I mean, as long as you know the kind of structure of like whatever particular medium that you're advertising on, because everybody's, all those different platforms, they have some little tweaks, that are different, for example, Instagram from, Facebook, right? There's differences. Same thing with, like LinkedIn and stuff like that, and Pinterest and TikTok, and all the different. So you do have to keep that in mind, as you're, some don't, you can't have a, like Instagram, like you can't have, I think it's like the headline or something like that, or the subheading. One of the ones I can't think of right now, but one has, it displayed, or it'll only display certain amount of characters. And then, the other one, you might have a little bit more flexibility and freedom. So knowing a little bit of that background stuff helps you to like figure out, okay, well, how much copy can I, is a, are these eyeballs actually going to see, right? Before they'd have to like click on a button or whatever. Um,
Yeah, there's lots of rules on Facebook, like I've had some ads denied because they said my copy was too good to be true. And also I heard that weight loss, if you're trying to do like a weight loss product, it's like really hard to get an ad up there too for that.
exactly. Yeah. Facebook's, they have a lot of rules and regulations. And so you have to, yeah, you don't want to spend all this money and then have it denied. So, so you
Yeah,
do
it's
have,
just like really obnoxious.
yeah, I know. I
Well,
know.
thanks so much for being here today. Again, please go to caringmessenger.com to get a freebie. So do you have any last words, Krista, about anything that you need to discuss?
I just thankful for the opportunity. I thank you for what you're doing in your business and all the different aspects that you've got going on. That's beautiful. I think, you're leaving an amazing legacy, for your son, and keep inspiring each other, and like that ripple effect, right? It'll grow. And so let's just continue as, entrepreneurs, and in the marketplace, and being, positive for change, like good change. Um, don't give up, right? You just, each day I say, like, if you got breath in your lungs, that means you've still got, right, stuff left in your story to do. And yeah, just keep going. Adventure awaits. And yeah, I think if you view life from that kind of, like, it's a gift and it's an adventure, and like there's, people to serve and things to, stories to tell, I think it's a lot more enjoyable that way. So yeah, but thanks so much for having me. This was really fun. I love to talk those.
Oh, yeah, that's what I love about you because I wish I was more like that. I've always been an introvert and I struggle to find the right words. Plus, I have a stuttering problem and I struggle to get words out sometimes. And yeah, I don't let that stop me from having a podcast. I know a lot of stutterers because I'm in like a support group for stutterers, and a lot of them are afraid to be on camera. They want to do a podcast, but they don't. And some of them are business owners, so they hire other people to do the podcast, not the podcast, but the videos for them, or they use AI. And that doesn't let them make you authentic. If you have a stuttering problem, it doesn't matter. You should just get out there and be on video.
Amen. I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you can be used, right? Like, and there's so many people that you can inspire. So I didn't even know that you have that, you know, what you're viewing as like a disability, because it really doesn't come across. And, you know, I haven't experienced it. So I think, woohoo, like you're on fire. So that's
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. I've been working with a speech therapist, and she's really been helping me.
That's awesome. Well, you're doing amazing. And definitely, you know, I think it's how you view it. I don't view it as a, you know, a setback. Like I think it's like more of like a setup for all the other people that you're inspiring out there. So
No, I
go
totally
for it.
agree. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, this has been great. Again, please go to Krista's website, Caring Messenger, and she has a freebie. I'm trying to see where the freebie's at. Is it like the button, let's start a conversation? Oh, it's a contact.
It's when you subscribe and the thing that says priceless, and when you click on that, then it gives you when you put your whatever email in, and then it allows you to download.
Okay, I'll make sure to link to her freebie in the show notes. You can visit the show notes at beckybeachshow.com. And we'll have everything there. I'll have a transcript, and you could find more about Krista with her website, her bio, and her picture. Well, thanks so much for being here today, Chris. I really enjoyed the podcast today.
Thank you so much, Becky. You have a blessed day. Nice to see you.
Hey, thank you. Thanks so much for listening to the Becky Beach Show. Please check out the show notes at beckybeachshow.com and my membership, businessbeachclub.com, to start and scale your own digital product business. Have a great day. See you next time on the Becky Beach Show.